Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about the 3 different ways that you can protect your dog during a seizure. You may be doing some of these already, or you may have one thing that I'm going to talk about today that you didn't think about doing. It would be really easy to implement, and so it's really going to be about what your dog needs, what their seizures look like. My name is Mandy. This is my dog Ruby. Ruby is joining me today for the video. She will let me know if I forget anything. We've been on this journey for about 7 years now, dealing with her epilepsy, and I've learned a lot. So I'm hoping that some of these tips, you can implement them way faster than I did. A lot of the stuff I just had to figure out, so I'm going to share all of my tips with you. So hopefully you can feel very confident in helping your dog with seizures. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the most recent thing that I have implemented. And so one of the things I would really recommend is just walking around your house. In a way, this is like baby-proofing your house, but for your dog. It's also going to be really dependent on the types of seizures that they have. So Ruby will have the full-on grand mal, fall over, pedaling of paws, body's stiff, jerks around, head is banging. So that's what I have to think about when I'm looking around the environment. And what I've done is I've really focused in on those places that Ruby spends the most time in. So if there are rooms that she doesn't really ever go into, or sections of rooms that she doesn't really go into, I have spent more time thinking about what are the spots, the places that she really spends a lot of time. Where does she typically nap? Those types of things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is looking for sharp edges. So if your dog has seizures, like my dog does, I have looked around and kind of noticed that there are some spots that have some sharp edges to them. So when Ruby is in her seizure, she will jerk around quite a bit, and I'm always concerned about her head. What is her head hitting? And is there any part of her body that could get hurt during that seizure time? Now, of course, hopefully those seizures are happening when I'm right there and I can kind of move her body to be away from anything that would cause injury. But what if a seizure occurs when I'm not home? So those are the things that I'm focusing on. One of the areas that I really was looking a little bit closer at was where she sleeps. So at nighttime, Ruby sleeps on the floor next to my side of the bed. That's always been her preferred spot. She doesn't sleep in a dog bed. She had bought her multiple dog beds. She doesn't care for them. They end up being toys. She likes sleeping on the floor. And there's 2 spots next to my side of the bed that she typically will sleep. So she kind of moves between those in the middle of the night. So I've created just a nice area where I have a couple rugs down and I have a sheet over those rugs to make it a little bit, more comfortable and cozy for her. But I realized there is a heat register right in that area that she sleeps in. So a wall heat register that has very sharp corners. It's a metal register. So very sharp corners to it that I was all of a sudden realized, holy cow, if she starts seizing in the middle of the night and it takes me a second to wake up, if her head is banging into that corner, that could cause some damage and injury. So what I did is I started researching, just again, it's essentially you're looking up those baby proofing products. And the product that I came across, now there's a million of them. So, do your own research, find what works for you, price point, all of that kind of stuff. But what I found was this Roving Cove product. Let your child roam safe. So we're gonna put those in place to help Ruby roam safe. But this is the reason why I picked this is it's definitely a very some of them I noticed, like it looks like they would provide some protection, but because of this edge of this, this metal heat register, I really wanted a nice cushion on it. And so this, from looking online, it looked like it was just like really nice and thick and spongy. So I specifically used on those corners, they come with these little corner pieces. So on the inside, you'll see there's the 3M tape. So you just take that off, remove it, and then slip it on the corner, and it stays there really, really nicely. Now I did look into a specific product because these are going on a heat register. I also wanted it to make sure it was going to be okay being on a heat register, that there's going to be, for a good portion of the year, based on where I live, heat coming out of there. So this is also a flame retardant product. So these I've been really happy with. They're very nice and cushy. If she were to have a seizure and be banging her head into this during the seizure before I can get to her to move her, she would be protected. This is gonna keep her from having any sort of damage happen. Now, right now, these are just on that register because she spends a lot of time next to it sleeping in the night. So I didn't go throughout my house and put these on all of the registers. There might be one other register based on where she naps during the day. Sometimes in the kitchen, there's another heat register that I might add these on as well. The coil part, it also comes with this big coil. Then you can identify if there's other areas that have a sharp edge to them that you want to protect. So like I said, where she sleeps at night next to my bed, the bed frame had one kind of little piece where often her head is by, that has it just feels a little bit too sharp to me. It's like a little bit of an edge that's way underneath. It's not rounded off, it's metal. So I did cut a piece of this to specifically fit that area as well. So that's protected. And then they give you, for the coil, it doesn't come with the pre-taped area. You can then cut a piece of tape that fits that specific section and put it on. So I've been so far very happy with this, but like I said, it doesn't have to be this particular product. Definitely it could be any sort of kind of baby proofing product that you're going to use to just protect those edges. Let's see. So the second thing I do, and I've been doing this for a while, is I put down extra rugs throughout my house. If you primarily have a carpeted floor, you're not going to have to worry about this as much. But except for our bedrooms, we have wood floors throughout and tile floors in the bathrooms. She doesn't really go in the bathrooms, so all I have to worry about really are the hardwood floors throughout the house. So for Ruby, this really benefits in 3 different ways. So she has certain behaviors that she'll start to do that will tell me a seizure's coming. You know, we're going to be entering into that time. And one of her tells is she will just randomly get up and just start running. And she's an older dog. She's getting older. She's uncoordinated. She slips. Normally she handles the floors just fine, but during that, I think they call it the preoctal stage, where she will just randomly run throughout the house. I don't want her slipping and falling and having an injury occur. So this helps her. We just have random rugs placed throughout kind of those main traffic zones that normally wouldn't be there. The second way that extra rugs do help is during a seizure. Like I said, we have hardwood floors. So during a seizure, she might be having a seizure on the hardwood floor. So what I can do is, if she's not already on a rug, I can pull a rug over and make sure to get it under her head. So if her head is hitting the floor, it's going to soften that blow. If I don't have a rug nearby, I grab a blanket or a towel or whatever I can to try to protect her head during that. And then after the seizures are all over, so Ruby cluster seizes. What that means is if she has one seizure, she's going to have multiple seizures over the next couple days. So once all seizure activity is done, then she's kind of in a place where she's just a little bit out of it for a little while. So again, having those extra rugs on the floor just to help assist her so she's not slipping has been really beneficial. They're also beneficial directly after the seizure is over. So once a seizure is over and she's in that postoctal stage, she looks like a drunk dog. She's stumbling all over, she's walking around. I have a suspicion that she loses her vision during a seizure and it doesn't come back right away. So she's walking blindly. So of course I'm right there and assisting her and making sure that she's okay and that she's not going to walk into something that she shouldn't. But again, she's very uncoordinated, she's slipping. So having extra rugs throughout the house has really been beneficial just to help her during that time. Again, it's all about just preventing any additional injuries that could occur from the seizure. So that's the second thing I do, extra rugs throughout the house. And then when all seizure activity is done, then those rugs get put away and are ready for the next time that we need them. And then the third thing, this may sound pretty obvious, but just during the seizure, I'm looking directly around her. Number one, I've moved her body if I need to, just kind of slide her away from anything that she could be hitting her head against a wall, a corner, against a hard piece of furniture, moving her away if I can, as much as I can, and then also moving anything away from her, any sort of object that could get knocked over and fall on her and hurt her. Also, I don't have stairs in my home, but if you have stairs, blocking stairs so they can't accidentally fall down the stairs either during the seizure or right after the seizure is over. So those are my 3 tips, ways that I help protect Ruby during a seizure. Some of those are even some things that protect before seizure activity and after seizure activity. I hope that they were helpful. They're all very simple, very inexpensive to implement. So thanks for learning with me today as I continue to learn with Ruby. Have a good day.